All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Missouri Green Schools 2026 kickoff. For those of you who are joining us live, you should be able to introduce yourself in the chat. So go ahead and give us your name, school, job title, and your location. And for those of you who are joining us on the recording, welcome. My name is Deborah Rogers Curtis, and I'm the Green Schools Coordinator of the Missouri Green Schools Program. And I'm really excited to see those of you who are live and also meet anybody who's watching the recording. Feel free to set up a meeting with me at any time and we can chat through your school specifics. All right, tonight we are going to go through just an introduction of the schools that are involved in our program, what the program really entails, how to get recognized at various levels, and the different professional development and resources that we offer to Missouri Green Schools participants. All of the slides will be provided to you via email and also are always available in the resource folder for Missouri Green Schools. So feel free to reference at any time. So first, the Show Me Green Schools suite of programs includes Missouri Green Schools. It also includes the Green Schools Quest and the National Green Ribbon Award. And the suite of programs is co-run by the Missouri Gateway Green Building Council and the Missouri Environmental Education Association. So there's two of us on staff who really focus on schools, myself, Deborah, and then our past Missouri Green Schools coordinator was Leslie Moylan from MIA. And Leslie is the director of MIA at this point, and so she really focuses more on the National Green Ribbon Award. So for those of you who are at our highest levels of Missouri Green Schools, you'll definitely see Leslie again because you guys will be great candidates for the national award. We're also governed by a very large committee of the Green Schools Committee, which is made up of all kinds of different people. You can take a look at this list, which is also online. But our people who join our committee are volunteers, and they all have some connection to either schools or sustainability or school sustainability. You can see from our varied group of people here that we have a lot of different professions represented. We have a lot of different areas throughout Missouri represented. And we always make sure that we have current and retired educators who are part of our committee so that we make sure that they really can advise us on what in the day of the life of a teacher is reasonable. Our schools we currently have in Missouri Green Schools include 51 active schools, and there's 12 schools that are inactive, meaning they were part of our programs and then took a couple years off. And our 51 schools are located all over Missouri. We have about 74% of them are located in the St. Louis area, and then that remaining percentage are all over the state. And we also have a wide variety of schools that are public, private, and charter, and we have quite a different subset of free and reduced lunch schools. We really care about the students that we represent and the areas that we represent geographically, and we want to make sure that we are really hitting all aspects of Missouri and Southern Illinois and doing a great job of providing resources to every type of school in every specific situation. Our leveled schools from 2025 and 2026 are listed here. They'll be on a couple of different slides for your reference. But basically, that our schools right now include many schools that have been in our programs for a couple of years or who might be brand new and enrolled as of yesterday. There was even a school that literally enrolled yesterday. So we have schools from all over the place and who are all at different levels of achievement so far. So let's talk through the program. If you're brand new to Missouri Green Schools, welcome. We are very, very excited that you've made this journey with us, or that you're starting this journey with us. Your first step after enrolling is to sign your letter of commitment and to complete the Missouri Green Schools baseline self-assessment. That's this document right over here on the bottom right. And basically, it is just a simple roadmap to kind of get you started on, what does my school do for school sustainability initiatives? It's a very simple, yes, we do this, no, we don't. And there's no points or there's no value assigned to this. It's just an exercise for you and potentially your students to accomplish together. If you were a part of Green Schools Quest, this is the same form. So you may have already done this if you were a Green Schools Quest school. But we ask all schools to complete this to give themselves a baseline of, just of the basics. Where are we starting from a water, waste, and energy program standpoint? Where are we starting from educationally? Do we include this in our academics? Do we include this in, the physical well-being of our students? That kind of thing. So the baseline self-assessment is available at any time, and we highly encourage you to do this with students because it's extremely kid-friendly language. Even our youngest students can participate in the baseline self-assessment. And then we also ask first-time enrollees to identify one school sustainability goal, and we ask that you do it using something called the START metrics. And START stands for Sustainability Tool and Roadmap. And basically, what this is, it is designed truly to give you an idea of where to go. So if you are brand new to Missouri Green Schools, or if you're brand new to school sustainability, it's really the START metrics are intended to help you with a starting point. But if you're here and you are advanced and you have been doing school sustainability work and initiatives for years, the START metrics are also designed for you to get to the highest tier. The metrics are tiered one, two, and three, and tier three is the most extreme that you could get. And so it's really there as a guidepost of if you're doing X, let's try Y. If you haven't tried this, let's try that. And it's really intended to help you get started and also help you grow. There are quite a few metrics, and they're broken up into three different categories. And so if you're really wondering where should we take our school sustainability projects, the START metrics are a wonderful, wonderful place to start. During the program, you can basically do any school sustainability projects that make sense to your school community. We want to make sure to emphasize this, that Missouri Green Schools is very different from the Green Schools Quest. Missouri Green Schools is designed on your timeline and for your needs. The only deadline throughout the year is July 1st. July 1st is the request for review deadline. Request for review is simply the way that you explain what you guys have done throughout the school year. So, what y'all have chosen to focus on, what projects you've taken on, what initiatives you have started. And really, you can do these projects anytime throughout the year. You can make them multi-year projects. Some of them, if they're expensive, they might require some fundraising or some, capital gains and that kind of thing. So we understand, and we want to make sure that there's not really a deadline for these kinds of projects, unlike the Quest, where there's a very specific deadline. So once you're enrolled in the program and you've taken those first initial steps, I suggest meeting one-on-one with me. My time is here for you. This is what my job is to make sure that you and your specific school context is taken care of. Every school is unique. Every school community is different. And we want to make sure that you feel catered to, that we are not just putting, some ideas out there that don't really apply to your school. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help your students. And so what we want to make sure is you are feeling that one-on-one attention. So the best way to do that is to make an appointment with me. There's a link here, and it'll be sent out in an email as well. But please, you can feel free to reach out at any time throughout the school year. I especially recommend reaching out sometime in the late spring when you guys are getting ready for that request for review deadline. July 1st is coming up. Once we get to April, May, June, that's a really good time to reach out and make a one-on-one appointment with me. I've also included some important dates in your calendar. We just released the spring and summer professional development sessions. These are all free for Missouri Green Schools participants, and you can bring anybody that you want to bring throughout your school team. You can bring other teachers, you can bring nurses, librarians, administrators, teaching assistants, parents, partners, you can bring your school district facilities folks, you can bring anybody that you want to these programs because we want to make sure that you are fully trained and feel ready to take on a sustainability project. We're going to go into more detail about each of these events at the end. But giving you just kind of a general timeline of the year, February is really kicking things off. March, we start to get into some how-tos, and I really recommend starting to get some of those one-on-one meetings with me on the calendar. April, we get into some deeper trainings of how to audit and reduce wastewater and energy in your school. And then a big one to highlight is in April every year, we celebrate everybody in the Missouri Green Schools program at our annual Green Schools event. And this is also an opportunity for your students to present on any school sustainability projects that they're excited about and that they've taken part in. We'll have students who are part of the Green Schools Quest who are presenting their projects. And we really recommend Missouri Green Schools also comes to present their projects and to show what they do in their school. It's really inspiring for schools to hear from other schools. And so we highly, highly encourage all Missouri Green Schools to be there, particularly because we also celebrate you at this event. So this is an event for all of our programs, and we have a large section of our program that is dedicated to Missouri Green Schools. Then in May and June, there's a lot of professional development available, all of it for free, of course, except for one item in June, which does cost money. But if you are high enough in the Missouri Green Schools levels, you can actually get a free pass to the Sustainability Institute for Educators. This is a 3-day conference, takes place in St. Louis, and it's co-hosted by Webster University, the Missouri Botanical Garden, and the St. Louis Zoo. And each one of those institutions hosts a day of the conference. You get lunch for free, you get an amazing amount of networking opportunities with other sustainability educators. And this year's theme is systems thinking. And so it will be an in-depth analysis of what systems thinking is and how it can apply to school sustainability projects. Then in July, we every single July 1st is the request for review. This is a very simple form, although I will tell you the form changed this year. So if you're used to the Google form, it's a little different. It's a Jot form this year, and it's really simple. It just asks, what did you do this year? Takes probably about 30 minutes to fill out because you do have to provide some documentation. And that is what our committee looks through and reviews to see what level you should be for the upcoming school year. In August, we completely break. We do not have programming. We don't offer any sessions at all, mostly because we know August is a wild time for schools. So we try and let you enjoy the rest of your summer and start the school year very fresh and very much unencumbered and not distracted. So then in September, we try and have a little virtual celebration with y'all because we announce your new levels for the upcoming school year. And then in October, November, and December, we reoffer all of the trainings that we do in the spring because we know that schedules are very busy and semester to semester looks different. So we try and make sure that we hit all of our trainings again in the fall. Okay, so once you have set yourselves up for success, you have established your Missouri Green School status, you've set up your calendar. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of school sustainability initiatives. The best and first thing to do is to establish a green team. And that means really pulling in more people than just yourself. This can be a very lonely job, just education in general, no matter what your position is, because you can feel like you're on an island. And the beautiful thing about school sustainability people is that we find each other and we are very supportive of each other. So finding a green team at your school or even across your district can be essential for making sure that you feel well supported and that you're not doing this work all by yourself. It's also a great time for you to get started in the START tool. START, actually, we have a training coming up in 2 days on February 25th. So for those of you who have not established your account or you need a refresher or you just got started and you're not sure what to do, this is a great training for you coming up on the 25th of February, and I'll also email that out to you. But the START tool is what you will use and what we use to track all of your tracking. So each school gets their own account, and within that account, you track energy, water, and waste. And you also track all kinds of initiatives that you're taking. And it's broken up into educational initiatives, organizational initiatives, and physical initiatives. And so as you can see here in this image, there's a bar here at the top, this lovely little multicolored bar. And you'll take something called the START Portfolio Wizard, and it's a START survey essentially, and it helps you kind of figure out where you're at. It's almost like a much more advanced baseline self-assessment. And you give yourself a score on each metric. Many metrics you're going to say, wow, we don't do that at all. We don't touch that. We don't have anything like that. And that's perfectly fine. The point is, we want everybody to be aware of what initiatives are out there and what you could be doing with your school, and what might be next for you. Once you start tracking everything, once you have completed all of your information, every July 1st, we've got a request for review form. We do have a new form, so I've hyperlinked it here, and that will also be in an email that I'll send out to y'all. But basically, from May until June, you're just kind of documenting, gathering data, your achievements, and making sure that you have everything that you need. By July 1st, you submit your request for review, and we have our committee looks through everybody's application and makes sure that we're doing due diligence and that you've met all the requirements of each level. And then we announce your levels in September. As I mentioned earlier, we always celebrate our accomplishments. This year, our annual Green Schools event will be taking place on April 14th. And even if you have truly just enrolled, please attend this event. It is so fun. You can attend in person at the Missouri History Museum, or you can attend online via Zoom. We want to make sure that we have an option to include all people from across the state, knowing that transportation and lodging is extremely difficult if you are not in the same area as the other schools. So we want to make sure that there's an online option. Um, Students are able to present at this event for either online or in-person attendance. There's a hyperlink here to see poster guidelines. We ask that if you're bringing students to present, that they bring like a science fair style board to explain what kind of work they do, and what kind of sustainability initiatives they've taken on. There's free food, there's music, student presentations, and of course, our awards ceremony where we announce our Missouri Green Schools levels, and we also recognize winners of the Green Schools Quest. Even though this event is completely free for anybody, including students and their families and anybody on your staff, we do ask that you register because we order food. So we have to make sure we have an accurate number. Then we also help you celebrate your own achievements in your community. We'll send out an entire promotional kit, and we have a folder full of logos and resources. Everybody gets a specific image, like this one in the bottom right corner, with your school name at the top, the year, and then what level you guys achieved that year. We have all kinds of different social media forms that it'll take. We have, things that fit Instagram better or fit Facebook better, etc. But no matter what, we want to help celebrate your achievements and shout it from the rooftops that you guys are doing amazing things in your schools. All right, let's talk about our recognition levels for Missouri Green Schools. We have 5 levels of achievement: seed, sprout, seedling, sapling, and flowering dogwood. And at each level, it brings new requirements and also new benefits. First, if you're curious where you are sitting right now, there's a spreadsheet that is updated about every other month or so. It's hyperlinked here to see your current school status, with a couple of, frequently asked questions here. Feel free to reference this as you take a look at your school status. All right, so the first recognition level is seed. And I've listed the schools that are currently in the running for seed, so that if you're in this boat, you probably have recently enrolled or you have enrolled but never achieved a level. So our schools listed at the top are Academy of Innovative Learners, Andrews Academy, Bloomsdale Elementary, Disney Elementary, Fern Ridge High School, Hannah Woods Elementary, Kelly A. Burleson, Long International Middle, Knifer Middle School, Northeast Middle in Parkway, Pattonville High School, Peapod Brentwood LLC, Premier Charter School, Rockhurst High School, Rockwood South Middle School, and the St. Louis Language Immersion School. So in order to achieve this level, you have to send in your letter of commitment. You have to identify and mail in, or excuse me, email in your school sustainability goal that connects to a START metric. You have to complete the baseline self-assessment, and you have to have a primary and secondary contact to share with our staff. At this level, you'll be recognized at the award ceremony in April. You'll receive a certificate of achievement, and you'll also have access to a 1 hour conference call with a sustainability mentor. So somebody who is an expert in the field, and you can request something specific if you're interested in a very particular project, like a native plant garden or composting or reducing water usage in your school. You can request a specific professional, and we will connect you with them for a 1 hour free conference call. And then, of course, we will send you promotional kits with press release and social media samples. All of these schools are also welcome to apply to Sprout Level 2, along with Ladue Horton Watkins High School, Parkway North High School, Pembroke Hill School, Rittner Middle School, Robinson Elementary, Ryogoku Soccer Academy, and the Summit Prep School. Sprout Level 2 requires all of the same requirements from Seed Level 1, but it also requires that you complete the START survey. So this requires a START account, and it requires somebody on your staff to actually complete the START survey, which takes not an enormous amount of time, but it is not a 5 minute survey. I will give you the heads up there. It's more like a 20 to 25 minute survey, just to get your school going. And then once you've completed the survey, you can use the survey to help you inform your goals and how you're going to approach sustainability projects. And then the final requirement for the Sprout Level 2 is either forming a green team or measure consumption of water, waste, or energy. The benefits of this level include all of the benefits of the seed level and a window cling for your school office, eligibility for the MIA Environmental Educator Grant, which is a very exciting mini grant for schools. So yay, money. And your students are able to display their projects at the annual Green Schools event. All of the schools mentioned previously are also welcome to apply for the recognition level of Seedling Level 3. Our schools that are currently ready for Seedling include Brentwood Middle and High School, Central High School, City Garden Montessori School, Dressel Elementary, Holland Elementary, Iveland Elementary, Marvin Elementary, Normandy Early Learning Center, Northeast Middle School in Kansas City, and Oakville Elementary. In order to achieve seedling level, you have to complete all seed and sprout requirements. You must have both a green team and measure consumption of at least one water, waste, or energy. And you have to start proving your tier 2 levels for the START metrics. You have to find at least one educational programming START metric that you can get to tier 2. At this level, you receive all the benefits from Seed and Sprout. You also get your school's Missouri Green School story highlighted on our website, on social media, and in our newsletter. You're recognized at the MIA annual conference and at the annual Green Schools event. And you receive a reduced rate for a team attending the MIA annual conference and a reduced rate for teams attending the Sustainability Institute for Educators. All of our schools listed previously are welcome to apply to Sapling Level 4. In addition, these schools are currently ready for Sapling: Bridgeway Elementary, Brittany Woods Middle School, Central Primary School, Chaminade College Prep, Crestwood Elementary, Herculaneum High School, Patrick Henry Downtown Academy, St. Francis of Assisi School, St. Teresa's Academy, and Villa de Maria Montessori School. In order to achieve sapling, you have to complete all of the seed, sprout, and seedling requirements. And you also have to show that you have reduced water, landfill waste, or energy of your school. You can do that through 1 to 3 years of data, or you can also show that you have achieved an Energy Star score of 75. You also have to put a plan in place to measure all waste, energy, and water for the entire school. You have to achieve at least tier 2 for 2 educational programming START metrics, and you have to achieve at least tier 2 for 5 organizational culture START metrics. The benefits include all of the previously mentioned benefits, as well as a free registration to either MIA or the Sustainability Institute for Educators, and an invitation to create a Missouri Green Schools webinar or case study to share your story. Our final level is Flowering Dogwood, level 5, and we have several schools that are ready for Flowering Dogwood, including Flance Early Learning Center, Hickson Middle School, Narings Hall High School, Principia School, and Shirley Green Preschool. In order to achieve this level, the requirements are completing all seed, sprout, seedling, and sapling requirements. You also have to demonstrate reduction of energy, water, and waste over 1 to 3 years. You have to have the plan in place and you have to be measuring all waste, energy, and water for the entire school. You have to achieve at least tier 2 for 5 educational programming start metrics, achieve at least tier 2 for 10 organizational culture start metrics, and achieve at least tier 1 for 10 physical place start metrics. The final requirement is providing a mentor for other Missouri Green schools. And the benefits of this is includes all of the previously mentioned benefits, as well as an invitation to present at the MIA annual conference or the Sustainability Institute for Educators, and an invitation to apply for the National Green Ribbon Award. All right, throughout the programming, we offer a lot of professional development in order to get you to the next level. Everything is optional. You are not required to attend any events. We know that your schedules are very intensely packed and that the start time is always at 3 p.m., except for one of our sessions this year, which is in the middle of the day. We know that 3 p.m. is going to work for some and is not going to work for everybody. So we understand that a lot of people will watch recordings, and we are perfectly fine with that. But we want to make sure you know that teachers and educator staff members can be invited, including principals, facilities teams, directors, etc. Anybody who is connected to your school in any capacity is allowed to attend our free sessions. Each session will provide an expert speaker, a practitioner speaker, somebody who's actually taken on these projects as a school leader. We also record every single session, and we always send out both the slide deck and the recording. And then, of course, we will repeat these in the fall. The first one I want to draw your attention to is in 2 days from today, February 25th at 3 p.m. We will have the Start Introduction session. This is for all schools, even those who have just enrolled, even though it might not all the way apply to you yet. I do want to make sure that you know the session is available to you because it's a very technical training and it will walk you through how to set up an account and how to get started on some school sustainability initiatives. Our next session is March 11th at 3 p.m., and this is called MGS 101 and 201, How to Achieve Seed and Sprout Levels. This one will really dive deep into creating and keeping a green team, accessing reports to track energy, waste, or water, and how to complete the START survey. This session is really intended for newly enrolled schools, seed level schools, or inactive schools that have not achieved a level. On April 1st and April 29th, we will dive very deeply into audits, and these are called MGS 301. April 1st, we're going to talk about waste. We will bring in experts and practitioners from schools that explain how to audit waste in a school setting, especially involving students in this one. This is a perfect project for kiddos to do. Even very young children can do this. To really understand how to audit the waste that you guys are producing and also how to reduce the amount of waste that is going to the landfill. And then on April 29th, we will continue that series and we will speak specifically to energy and water audits and reduction strategies. These sessions are open to any school interested in any one of these topics. You do not have to have a level in order to attend these topics. Then on May 13th, we have student and staff health and well-being. This is much more about environmental health, and it is about how the physical environment impacts everybody who comes into your building, including students and staff. And you'll hear from experts and practitioners who have taken on some sustainability projects that really make a school a healthier place for both people and planet. And then on June 18th, during National Pollinator Week, we always celebrate this by hosting a free webinar that's called Pollinator Paradise. And we hear from school educators of all different positions and all different backgrounds who are running school gardens. And so we want to really talk about some practical steps to start or improve a school garden. And anyone is available to attend either of these sessions. Finally, I'd like to go over some resources with you that you have access to as a Missouri Green School participant. The most important thing is the resources for Missouri Green Schools Google Drive. There are many different folders in here, including Start Here. This is the ultimate you just enrolled. What should you do? It walks you through the program. It walks you through the first steps and what to do as a new enrollee. The program logistics include all of the level requirements and benefits that we just went over. MGS events not only have the learning series descriptions, but it also includes all of our recordings and all of our slide decks. The Sustainability Initiative idea folder, I really highly recommend hanging out in there for a while. There are lists and lists of projects, initiatives, or ideas of how to make your school more sustainable. We focus heavily on free or extremely low cost projects. We know that, of course, there are some amazing things you can do to your building to make it sustainable if you have $10 million, but we also know you probably don't have 10 million bucks. So we want to make sure that these projects are accessible, and so we focus very heavily on low or no cost projects. The START metrics are included here, as well as several how-to guides to provide very technical and very detailed support on basics of school sustainability projects and some pretty advanced projects. Finally, in that folder, the resource library. This is a resource library for all Show Me Green Schools participants. So it will take you to an external folder, just a heads up there. And the resource library changes about every quarter. I add to it almost every single day. And about once a quarter, we make sure that the links are not broken. So if you do find a broken link, please call and let me know. Email me anytime. Broken links are a big pet peeve of mine, especially as a teacher when you do not have time for broken links. So please let me know if you find any and I will remove them. And then finally, there's also a Start Technical Support folder, and this is a great way to get started in Start, but it's also a great way to give yourself a refresher course. And then finally, I put another link in there for the request for review, the new form, and this is due annually, July 1st. If you cannot find a resource that you need in order to have a successful Missouri Green Schools experience, please email me, call me, or text me. This is my email address and my phone number. I am a big fan of a simple text anytime you'd like, an email at any point. I love it. I love communicating with educators. And that's all from me for tonight. So I wanted to say thank you for joining us live for those of us here in the room tonight. And I'd also like to say thank you to everybody watching the recording. Please reach out if you have any questions, and I can't wait to read all of your requests for reviews in July. I'm going to stop recording at this point, and I will make sure that those of you who are here live, I will we can take some questions and answers. But for those of you watching the recording, thanks so much and have a great time.